You know, I was going to introduce you to one of our new interns, but I don't know if we have time here. Maybe I'll do that.
You have to wait a whole week. You sure you want to do that?
Well, we're butting up against news time, and there was a whole bunch of things I was supposed to get to today.
Is it a long introduction?
It's funny. I don't know how long it'll take. You know us once we get into it, but what we do is.
I don't even know what this is all about. I just heard you wanted to introduce an intern.
Well, it's kind of funny that. All right, well here we go. The company always, let's face it, the company we work for is pretty cheap.
Extremely cheap.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw this studio we work in, I mean, I don't know where it's written that we have to stay in this studio, but.
Everybody who comes to, people have been listening to this show for years, and they imagine being the biggest show that we are in plush studios.
Yeah, well.
The biggest disappointment is coming in here and seeing where we work.
I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do in the future, meaning me
you couldn't
and you.
even tell those Italians.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be in the future. But it seems to me that if we ever considered staying on in radio, we got to do something about the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll just go out and build us a studio.
This is very uncomfortable working conditions.
At the risk of sounding like Jackie, but here I go. You would think that a company that's worth $1 billion could build a studio. But I know what the thing with this company is that whatever radio station they buy, they keep it the way it was. Like I know, they own FAN now, and FAN has some really nice studios.
But FAN, once that equipment gets old,
we'll have to keep it.
That's right.
Right. So, because it's impossible. Like I've said to Tom, you really should have a digital workstation. It'd be so easy. We could pass out sounds just on floppy disks instead of all these carts and everything. We could eliminate all that. And he's just like, it costs a lot of money. It is in my budget, but...
The constant conversation in the hall from the engineers is, you get Tom to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not your problem.
Yeah, I know.
You get Tom to buy it.
I know. It's, and it's like, well, I have enough problem getting Tom to give me the money I think I deserve, so I'm not going to sit there and fight for equipment.
Right.
I want money from me, not for equipment. If it costs $30,000 for a digital workstation, give me $30,000.
If we only got $130,000.
Yeah, I'll take it. And if you're not going to give it to me, give it to Robin. Don't give it to Jackie, but at least give it to one of us.
Me or Howard.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You don't have to worry about anybody else.
Right. So, anyway, of course, one of the ways that we have tremendous amount of work that goes on around the show. In fact, we put on a 5-hour show a day. And as you can imagine, you've seen the staffs for shows that are only a half hour a day or an hour a day in television. And they have huge writing staffs and don't ask. I mean, huge equipment budgets and all that.
Somebody said to me the other day, wouldn't it be great if you just had a computer terminal, because I was telling them the story about when Christian Slater called in, and I have to just remember what's going on with him. Right. It just has to be in my head.
It'd be great if you had a computer terminal.
I type in Christian Slater, boom, I got the whole profile.
It's called a LexisNexis service that you would have a computer terminal in front of you. Christian Slater calls in, and while I'm busy, getting him on the phone, you hit a button, you hit Christian Slater, up on your screen comes 30 things about Christian Slater, and you say, hey, isn't it true you did this?
Right,
isn't it true? Right. That would be the ultimate.
Right up to date.
Yeah, and by the way, they have that. Like, I was talking to someone who was over at WOR. They have all that stuff.
Sure.
So...
You know what he did yesterday.
And FAN even has computer terminals. What did he do yesterday? He bought a cake that was about 7 sizes too small? What? But I understand...
We are fiscally responsible. We are not...
Right. I understand that. But you understand that...
We're fiscally responsible for letting everything fall apart.
Well, Tom's attitude is, well, listen, you've come this far with no equipment, so why add equipment? I mean, this is fine for us.
Equipment would only...
Yeah, right.
Equipment would only hold us back.
Right. Maybe it would. Who knows? Maybe he's onto something. I don't know. Maybe he knows more than I give him credit for.
You still knew what Christian Slater did. You didn't need that terminal.
And whatever you didn't know probably wasn't that important.
I think most comic geniuses need some kind of misery. This is yours.
This is definitely my house. I'm in it. But anyway, thank you, Tom. Thank you for that, adding so much to the material. So, and one of the other things is... we don't really... Like, if we had a couple of office people, the office would run a lot smoother. But I'm not going to be the guy who goes back and tells Tom that we need office people to just even to catalog stuff. So we get interns, college interns. And they come here and...
You're not going to say that to the guy who said, can't we reuse some of the audio tapes of the show?
I mean, Tom...
just record over them.
Tom was a guy who came to me and said, I don't understand why, when you record the shows, why don't we just take the old shows, like the shows from 8 or 9 years ago, and record over the tape? I said, because, Tom, who knows what we're going to do with those? We're going to have best of, maybe I don't know what we'll do, but once you tape over a 60-cent cassette, the material is gone. Maybe a great guest is on there.
You never know who people are going to become later on.
Right.
You want to save all that.
Tom goes, oh, but we're spending so much money on cassettes. And I was just like, oh my God. He has no idea of the value of the show. Zero idea.
He has no idea what's going on here.
Meanwhile, when we're on vacation for 6 weeks out of the year, they put together a best of that makes a lot of money for the station.
Sure. But it wouldn't be there if Tom had his way.
Oh, we never would have had one.
One cassette. We just keep flipping it over.
Right, over and over again. It's only groundbreaking tapes of the world's best radio show, and he's erased them all. Because he's very expensive tape.
They've
60
heard this
cents.
before.
How
I figured it out.
many pens does Jackie need?
I understood it costs us $9 a week in tape.
Meanwhile, there's fans of the show that have
every tape of the show. Right. Anyway, one of the things we do is we bring in interns from colleges. And some
That's
of them
how we get any work done at all.
And it's very hard to get people to work for free. And they always have wacky stories. But Gary was back there. What happens is you get an intern to work for free, and they think it's exciting because they think they're going to be on the radio all the time, and it's going to be really cool hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And then they get here, and they're just doing office work, and they flip their lids.
Really?
Well, they all do.
I'm not around.
Most of them do.
Yeah.
The ones that want to stay on are usually kooks. Anybody with anything happening wants to move on. So Gary has to break in new interns every other week. Kathy used to have to break him in, but I told Gary now he's responsible for that.
So that's switched back to Gary now?
Yeah. So he has to break in the new interns. So the other day, he's sitting there with the interns, and one intern comes up to him and says, hey, Gary, come in here. Who's the one who talked to you about, said you didn't look so much like a monkey?
Oh, that's Bruce.
Where's he? Is he here?
No, Bruce comes in on Fridays. Bruce said to me, he came in, it was like his second day here, and he goes, hey, you know what? I go to school in Boston, and there's a guy who's got some of your last name. He's got like half of my last name. And he goes, you know what? He goes, I know you're not related to him. And I said, no, I don't have any relatives in Boston. And he goes, yeah. He goes, you guys could look like brothers. He goes, but he looks a lot more like a monkey than you do. But it wasn't like, he didn't wait for the punchline. It was just like a matter of fact.
Yeah, right. I mean, can you imagine? Like that's, so, you're not dealing with guys who are all there.
High level
guys,
people.
people who are worried about your feelings. Isn't that great?
But there was no joke. You know what I mean?
Right, it was just matter of fact.
It makes it so much worse.
Yeah. So,
because he doesn't even know that's an insult.
And then we got another one who, isn't he in Gamblers Anonymous?
No.
What?
He has a gambling problem.
Right. Where is he?
Guys, get our intern.
You got to meet this guy.
He has a gambling problem. I know what I heard about him, which I spoke to him about, was the reason he's interning for us this semester is because last semester he took the money his parents gave him for school and he lost it. But he said he went to one meeting and he had the greatest line. He went to Gamblers Anonymous and I said, how did it go? And he said, I went to one meeting. He goes, those guys are a bunch of losers.
Hey, sit down. And what's your first name?
Danny.
This is Danny?
Yeah.
See, I never know anybody's name until they do something interesting.
Yeah.
Now I'll know Danny forever. But Danny, what's your story? So you're going to college and you gambling got so bad, because you can't be more than what, 19?
No, I'm 24.
You're 24?
Yeah.
And
what school were you
what school were you
in Albany.
Oh, you were at Albany?
Yeah.
And your parents gave you money to...
No, they didn't give me the money. It was my money.
Oh, it was your money?
Yeah.
How'd you get money?
I'd saved it for a while. You know?
You saved money or you gambled?
Well, I gambled too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what age were you when you started gambling?
Oh, about 22.
You were 22 years?
Actually, about 21.
And how did you get turned on to gambling?
Actually, my friend, I'm into sports. I'm not like a big sports guy, but my friend was like, oh, you can make a lot of money gambling. It's no problem. You go in there, you make a lot of money easy. And I was like, oh, you guys are idiots. You're losing all your money.
Right.
And so one day he just like told me, I bet on a game and I won.
Right. Uh-oh.
That's all it took.
And how much did you bet? Like just a little bit of money?
$25.
$25, okay.
And how much did you win?
$25.
$25.
Oh.
So I bet the $25, and then the next week I was like, oh, this is easy. So I bet 50, I won 50, and I won for like 6 weeks in a row. And I was like, man, we're like having the best time.
Yeah, I got the touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We're sitting there like, I was like, I can make a career out of this. I don't even have to work or anything. I didn't work for like 6 weeks. I was just like, oh my god, I'm making $400 a week. This is like simple.
Yeah.
And everybody was like looking at me for the picks.
Right.
But eventually I ended up winning like $1,600 a week sometimes.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And then what happened though? You started to lose, right?
Then I became a mush. Then you ever see like what was it, the Bronx Tale?
Yeah.
And the guy's the mush. I just couldn't win.
You couldn't win. The luck ran out.
Yeah.
The mush. So at this point, you were in college, and your gambling habit was getting so bad that...
What were you betting on? Anything?
I was betting on everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he would bet whether or not you would laugh at whatever he just said.
Everything except for like horse racing. I mean,
right? No one gets
actually,
into that.
We went to the track one time, and I was betting on every race. And not only did my horses lose, but every single race my horse came in last place.
So how much money were you losing at this point? I mean, you were losing a lot of money.
Actually, I was losing like $250 a week. You know, I bet really big on Mondays.
Right.
And then I'd win sometimes, and then you just use that.
And what happened? You ran out of college money?
No, well, actually, I had a bad experience. I was like, I lost a lot of money early in the week, and I was betting baseball at this point. And I was down in New Orleans, and what happened was I lost early. And in baseball, it's different than any other sports because you bet odds.
Right.
So if you bet on a really good team and they win, then you just win what you bet. But if you bet on a good team and they lose, you lose like 2-1.
Right.
So I lost like $200 in the beginning of the week, and I bet $200. But then if they lose, you lose $400.
Right.
So now I'm down $600. So you bet $600, you don't lose $600, you lose $1,800.
See, it's starting to escalate now. Yeah.
Yeah, they know how to get you. Boy.
So the baseball strike saved you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
saved his life.
So you were down, and that was supposed to be your college tuition.
Yeah. Well, I was down $1,700, and I had to finish off paying the rest of my tuition.
Right.
And my parents were like, okay, take the money out and go pay the rest of your tuition. So I knew I didn't have it all.
Right.
So I was down in New Orleans just like having a good time, and it got really pathetic to the point where we're like calling up on a payphone from the middle of the street in New Orleans to make a bet up here.
Yeah, right.
You couldn't even walk a block.
So your parents gave you the money to pay for college, and you took the money and you paid off your bookie?
Yeah, well, not even. What happened was I bet the $1,800 on one game.
Oh.
And I lost like $3,700 because I lost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't have the full tuition anyway, so I wasn't going to be able to pay it. So I just figured, I might as well, bet it all and have nothing to lose.
So when you lost all the money, then your parents figured out that you had a gambling problem?
Well, they knew I'd been gambling, but they didn't know it was like getting out of hand like that.
Like the point that you couldn't go to college anymore.
$3,700 he lost?
Yeah. So
I ended up being like $5,100 for the week.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
$5,100 for the week.
But all these stories are the same. You notice it started with it's not so innocent.
$25.
$25.
Yeah, it's no big deal. And $25 when you're in college is a lot of money.
You know what it is? It's you bet more and more because like you go down to Atlantic City and you see this old guy next to you and he's got like $1,000 chips and stuff and you're like, wow, I want to be a high roller like this guy. Yeah. Meanwhile, the guy starts out with like 20 of them and you look.
Meanwhile, I never thought like that in college.
Never.
I didn't have any money.
Everybody bets in college now.
Really?
Everybody. I got all my roommates on. My roommate lost.
My father gave me $100 for the month.
Yeah. I never even knew anybody in college.
Yeah, you didn't even have a phone to make a call.
No, it wasn't in my realm of possibility.
I knew guys when I went to college who had bookies, and I thought it was an odd thing because I thought bookies were like you go down to Little Italy and you're an old guy and you a bookie.
So anyway, now you're in the hole for like $5,700 at this point, and and how much is college going to cost?
It was like $5,100 for the rest of the semester.
So what'd you do? You went to your parents and said, "Look, I'm really screwed."
I hid from them. I went back to school. I just told them I paid it. I went back to school and hid in my house for like 3 months.
And then when the school started coming after you for money, what'd you do?
The bills came to my house.
That's how they found out?
Well, no, actually, one of my roommates told my brother by accident. He thought he knew. And so.
This is what happened. Your parents hauled you into a family meeting?
Well, they told me that if I wanted to stay at home, I had to go to like Gamblers Anonymous.
And then you refused to go because they were losers?
No, I was like, I don't have a problem. But then I started thinking, maybe I do have a problem.
Right.
So I go to this meeting.
I love him.
Yeah.
He's gambling everything away, and he doesn't know he has a problem.
He's our new friend.
It's so funny.
Right. Guy in complete denial.
So you go to this meeting. Actually, you call on the phone. And I'm like, I don't have a problem. And the guy was just like, okay, well, how much of your salary do you lose? I'm like, oh, all of it. So I was like,
I have no money. I can't even go to school.
You better get in here quick. We'll send an ambulance for you.
I go into this meeting, and
he was like, I don't have a problem. I like betting.
It was like a bunch of old guys. Like a bunch of old guys.
I don't have any more money.
And the guy behind me had lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars. He ruined his marriage and his business and everything.
Right.
And I lost my tuition. And some little geek came up, and he was like 16 years old. He was like, yeah, I lost like $100. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, right. What are you doing?
And they yelled at us.
Really?
They're like you have no right. You have no right to go off on this guy. If you would have been like him, smart like him, and came in here when you had a problem, you wouldn't be down in the hole. And we're like, oh.
Meanwhile, the 16-year-old kid's all embarrassed. He hasn't lost enough.
Right.
So you told your parents that all the guys in Gamblers Anonymous were losers?
No, well, I just they didn't know I stopped going. So
so you just
I just went once, and I was like, forget it.
Yeah, right.
So they still think you're going to Gamblers Anonymous.
So have you bet since you went to Gamblers Anonymous?
Well, I don't bet as much, but I went back to the.
Did you bet on the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
What'd you do on that?
Like 500.
You had San Diego?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome.
I figured they could cover 19.5 points, and if that guy would have caught that touchdown pass,
right? He's still living it.
Good.
Yeah.
He's in it.
If I were you, I'd start drinking. You're on your road.
To ease your way.
What?
My roommates in school never gambled, and they all called me a fool, and my other friend and I gambled together, but they were always like, oh, you're a fool. And I got them started gambling, and my other roommate, I just found out, lost $17,000. I had to drop out of school, and like it's still paying it off at this
Really?
point. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't feel bad.
No. Hey.
I look at him like,
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
There's some guy on the phone that says that that Dan was responsible for his roommate losing a lot of money, but you can't be responsible for
Yeah,
anybody.
I mean, hey, it's...
But he said Dan's days at schools were spent going down to the deli, getting the paper, and reading about all the sports and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I have to just roll out of bed, play Seg all day, go down and get the paper, study the spread like I'm supposed to be studying your schoolwork, and still lose.
Right.
You
so I think he did have a
But
problem,
at
and you might still have it.
At 24, what's he still doing in college?
I don't know. He's gambling.
Yeah, gambling.
There's no time for school.
You know what it is when you
what are you doing in college?
You transfer and you lose all your credits and everything.
Oh,
I had to
right.
go home
Yeah,
because
sure.
I couldn't stay there anymore. And if I wanted to go back there, all my roommates had graduated.
And Albany's a good school.
Yeah.
So what school are you in now?
At St. Thomas Aquinas.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you ruined your life.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Don't.
What kind of major are you pursuing?
Gambling. The history of gambling.
Rats 101.
Yeah. So your parents probably don't even gamble, and they're probably completely freaked out by this.
Not at all. Actually, my dad bet on the Super Bowl, and I wasn't going to bet on the Super Bowl, but he was like, "Okay, put 50 on it for me." And
50's reasonable.
Yeah. So I was
He's
like,
helping him.
So I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
okay, I'll bet 50. And I ended up putting like 500 in.
Want to bet? I'll bet that you don't graduate till you're 30. How much you got? What?
I want to know, so do you work? Do you have a job after you leave here where you make money?
Yeah.
And what do you do with it?
Probably gamble it away. No, actually, I've gambled since the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Since the Super Bowl.
Oh, there you got it.
I know what it is. I'm busy now, so when you're busy and you don't have time to really look through the paper, if I get a spread in front of me and it's 6 o'clock,
right.
I'll call in and I'll bet.
You get nuts.
But you don't have a problem.
Do you still think you don't have a problem? You have a problem, right? You do. Yeah. I have a problem.
Yeah.
Hey, we all have problems.
You're in New York. Every bookie in New York is on the phone.
Yeah. Hey, believe me, I could tell you everyone's problem in this room. You're not the only one without a problem. But you're definitely on the road to ruin.
No, but
I mean, you're ruined already. You dropped out of Albany to go to St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
Man.
It is horrible.
Dude, you got to pull that together. Maybe you ought to go to that gambler. Hey, Billy, where were you? AA?
Yeah, I went to AA.
Yeah, so did you think they were losers?
No, I didn't.
Well, you were really rock bottom.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get in there, but once I got out, I was on the good road. But I don't shake on Wednesdays when I see the lotto ticket machine.
Yeah, right.
But Billy was telling me, we all know that he went there.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while you hang with Billy, and Billy will tell you some really bizarre stories that you just can't believe because he seems so docile now.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think Billy's imagining some of it because he wants, because he's short and stuff and weird, and he wants to make everyone think he had a cool life.
He told me once he took a swipe at an intern.
I don't know about that.
He's
I don't know.
glamorizing his former.
Yeah, I know Billy. I don't see it.
Why would I do that? It requires rigorous honesty.
It's like
sober.
It's like Eric Clapton. He tells everyone he's a heroin addict. Now they're saying they're not even sure he ever did heroin.
Yeah.
It's just like makes him cool. There might be a little of that going on with you.
No, it's not.
Yeah? Let me see you take a drink.
Just collect empties and put them around his house.
So you're our new intern, huh? That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know you had all that brewing inside of you.
Don't send him out for your lunch if you give him any money.
It's so funny because all the other interns are like, okay, Dan, you're going for lunch, but don't go. They have my Mac card and they take their Mac cards out of their wallets and stuff.
Right.
And they're like, let me go with.
Yeah, we don't trust you.
Yeah.
So have you paid off all the $5,300 and stuff?
Yeah, I paid it all right away. I paid it that was my tuition, so I had to pay. I paid my bookie before I paid my rent.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, you don't get your hands broken.
Did you ever have any? I'm curious. Did anyone ever were you ever late and did anyone ever come and visit you?
No, never. I've never.
What do you? I mean, do you know what would have happened? What would have happened?
Well, first of all, if it's a lot of money, it depends. Like if it's reasonable, the guy will make a payment plan. Like the guy who lost $17,000, he was paying off like $400 a week.
Right.
So you gotta monthly pay your bookie.
Yeah. You had to drop out of school and get a job. Oh, man.
It was funny. This kid that was betting through us, he was winning a lot of money, and he was only like 17 years old, and he was like a diplomat's son from the UN.
Right.
And this kid, he was winning, and we were like laughing at his picks, but the kid was winning like thousands of dollars, and he was betting, and just all of a sudden, he lost like $12,000 in one day.
Oh.
We had to go out to his house in Long Island, and it's found out his father was like a security guard in the UN, and he didn't have any money. This kid was going to Cooper Union, so he wasn't paying for school. And this father had to go out and take a second mortgage on his house.
Oh, man.
And we're driving around in Long Island with like $13,000 in my hand in like $100 bills. Of like
you know anybody who ever got beat up?
I know a guy he got his leg broken. Yeah.
Really?
And you don't think this is a weird thing to be in?
Dude, you ought to swear it off. I'm telling you. Trust me.
I'm trying, It's hard because I'm really into sports and I love watching the games.
It's not fun when you just watch a regular game. You can have some money riding on it. I like the Super Bowl a whole lot. I couldn't move from the set. I had so much money going down.
Well, for me, it was Ralph's bet. That's what kept me there.
That's funny.
How do they break your legs anyway? What do they do? They just break it with like a hammer or something?
No, they just throw you out of a car.
Oh, do they? Throw you out of a car.
Nice people you're dealing with.
So, in other words, it's pot luck what happens to you once you leave the car.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, if you break a leg, you break your head, it don't make a difference.
Well, that's only for extreme idiots.
Yeah, right.
You don't come up with any money and don't make.
And you can never get into that condition.
No. Nah. Well, actually,
And what do you got to do? You get the payment plan. You got to pay a little interest too, right?
No. It's just
nice
actually, it might be.
Bookies with a heart.
I never got that far into it.
Yeah, right. Before you know it, your kids are sold into slavery.
Yeah.
You got to give your daughter into
You're working for him the rest of your life. Now he'll be going out breaking legs.
Yeah, right.
That's how he'll pay off his debt.
Yeah, you're a pretty tough looking guy, actually. So, do you purposely avoid watching certain games on TV and stuff?
No, not really, though.
Really?
No.
So what happens when you watch them? All of a sudden, your hand creeps over to the phone and you go, hey, I got to place a bet?
Well, right before a big game, this weekend, I guess Syracuse was playing Connecticut, and the game just comes on. And,
right.
And I'm sitting around, I have nothing to do, I'm really bored, and I'm a big Syracuse fan, but I'm like, that crowd looks really good, maybe they'll be all pumped up, and I'm thinking, what's the spread? I look at the spread.
And it's over.
Yeah, but I didn't make the bet this week.
Right.
I was kind of hesitant. I was like,
well, what goes through your mind? Do you say yes, no, yes, no?
No, what do you do? I pick up the phone.
Oh, Jesus, if I lose.
I pick up the phone and then I get the spread, and I say to myself, okay, if it's over a certain amount, I won't bet it.
Right.
And then I didn't bet it the other day.
There you go.
You're still in there.
You know what I do? I'd remove the phone from the house.
Yeah.
You actually made the call to the bookie to see what the spread was. You got that far.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And I would have lost, too, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're glad you didn't bet. Because when he bets, he doesn't have the money to bet.
Yeah, but do you like losing?
No, it's not the losing. The losing is okay, but it's while you're losing and you know you're going to lose. Because it just tears your guts out,
It's a high you can't get anywhere else.
He's in love.
But the bet doesn't really count unless it's really going to hurt you, right? In other words, if you got $20 in your pocket, and you can afford it. That's not a good bet, right?
Right.
Because you got to know that it's going to take it out of your.
It's like you got to. You got to drop. You got to drop out. It's got to be a real bet. You got to drop out of school and start.
Right. You got to have something risking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
When I first started betting, it was you call it a 5-time bet. It's a $25 bet.
Right.
And now, I was just like, oh, yeah, that's a lot of money. And when I started betting big, I was like, oh, it's just a 5-timer, whatever. It's real casual.
Right.
And then when we bet it was $3,700 on one game.
Right.
And actually, my friend had $700.
And you didn't even have the money.
No, I had the money.
He had the money because his parents gave it to him.
Yeah, but that was the tuition money. You really didn't have the money.
No.
You just saw the money and said, what the hell?
I was like, oh, I got it.
And when you're riding on 3,700, you must be out of your mind.
We were down in New Orleans. We had to find a sports bar because we bet on a Philly game against the Padres, and the Phillies were 70-20, and the Padres were 20-70, and the Phillies had lost 4 games in a row. We're they're never going to lose to these guys again.
Yeah.
And it was a rain delay. The game went on for 6 hours, and we're just sitting in this bar watching it. And it was 2-2 in the 9th inning, and we lost. And we're sitting there our whole vacation was ruined.
And you were happy.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
We're sitting. It was just torture. It was the longest 6 hours.
But you like that feeling.
But he's
you like when you're winning.
You like when you win.
But it's funny because when you're winning, when your team's winning, you never are secure. When
Right.
you're losing, you're like, oh, I know I lost. You know immediately your team would be down by 30 points or something.
But he loves those highs and lows.
Yeah.
I have a question I've always wanted to ask a compulsive gambler. When you make the bet, right?
Yeah.
Do you sit there and then start dreaming of what you're going to do? You think you're going to win. Do you start dreaming of your winnings? You go, I'm going to buy a boat.
Yeah, you sit
go
there.
on vacation.
You're like, okay, I can go out to dinner here. I can go and do this. I can go.
You're spending the money.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I have this bill. I have this bill. I have this bill. And you're like, okay, if I win this, I can pay off this, and I can still get some clothes. And
Did you ever do that? No.
Yeah, well, I was winning in the beginning. In the beginning, I was paying off everything. I was
you were a big man. Yeah, big man right
my
there.
money around. People like, oh, you're not even working. I'm like, yeah,
right.
no problem.
The best thing in the world would have been if he lost his first $25 bet. It would have been all over.
Yeah, because I would have been like, oh,
right.
this sucks.
Yeah, this sucks. Who wants to do this?
Exactly.
That's how they hook you.
Yeah, it's so funny because the guy who runs OTB now, wasn't he a big gambler? And every gambler loves him because he's the winner.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, and they all look at him. They think they're going to be him.
Yeah, I don't know much about that situation.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how rampant gambling is. You go to a Giant or a Jet game, and you sit in the stands, and you got guys with cell phones all around them, and they're all like, what's the score of that game? What's the score of this game?
Yeah, and they're not even concentrating on the game.
They don't watch the game.
Yeah, right.
They want to know who won and who lost.
Well, the funny thing is the NFL, frowns upon gambling, and they deny that there's gambling, but every single newspaper, even the smallest local newspaper, prints point spreads.
Right.
And the NFL puts out point spread.
Point spread makes it all fun.
You know what happened? Well, up at school, the local paper took the point spread out, and we got a petition going, and get that point spread back in the
paper. They took it out of the school paper.
Well, yeah, it was like a local little crappy paper.
You finally got involved in school.
Yeah,
it was an issue close to your heart. Now he was rioting in the middle of basketball games with his friends.
School books with the
yeah, right.
We're sitting there, we're like,
did you have any time for studying or anything? Very little.
Don't you envision one of those report cards?
Our intern pool is getting weirder and weirder.
Gay Rich, Stuttering Vic.
I'm pining away for the days of Stuttering Vic.
In the last group, we had a guy who had gotten out of jail.
Yeah.
We had Stuttering Vic, and now we got this gambler.
Yeah, Danny. Danny the Gambler. Gambling Danny.
OJ.
Suddenly Grillo's a real find.
It's getting real shaky.
Yeah. I never did no gambling.
Ex-cons and gamblers.
You give me the money, I go get lunch.
It's funny because she's always telling me, you're so stupid. What are you doing? What do you think?
You got a problem.
I'm like, dude, shut up.
Dude, I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to play
fun.
I'm doing the point spread.
Meanwhile, John's in there saying, "Oh, you're so dumb." Meanwhile, he's playing with the stock market, And
yeah, right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, we should have Danny. Do some picks and stuff.
Maybe we should have a meeting right
here. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
If I don't gamble on the game, I'll win.
Is that right?
As soon as I pick the game, it's almost like I got to the point where I felt like I was calling my bookie, and as soon as I called, the guy would get off the phone okay, he made his pick. You guys all go the other way.
You just get a little nuts with it, huh?
Maybe
why don't you stop since you know you can't pick a winner?
Well, I tried. I'm trying right now.
He said he's trying to stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that easy.
If you don't show him the point spread, he'll do it.
If he gets any money in his hand, it's gone.
Yeah. Keep going. It's hard to stop, though. It's almost like, alcoholic. Everybody says, it's not a disease.
All right, let's say I have, let's start out conservative. Let's say I got $100 right now on me. Yeah. Okay? Today, I've got $100. Okay. I want to bet a game. What's the game that you would bet?
Well, I have to look at the paper. I don't know who's playing tonight.
No, this could be dangerous. Go ahead. Give him a paper.
Why are you doing this?
Well, I just want to see. I might place the bet.
You and his father, enablers.
I just want to know. Because I just want to see what's good out there. Our audience will be interested. They might want to bet it.
You know what? Whatever he tells you, bet the other way.
Yeah. We're about to get another dopey revelation,
When I was gambling every day, every day, I knew stats about the stupidest things.
Right.
I knew every single thing about every team that nobody would even think of.
Tonight alone, you can bet on 7 NBA games. It looks like around 25 college.
Give Danny the paper. He's the pro here.
Or 10 NHL.
All right, give me something good to bet on. You call your bookie for me. I'm gonna put 100 on.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into it.
New show feature, Howard. Danny's picks.
Danny's picks. Get some music. What do you come in? You come in every what?
Wednesday morning.
Every Wednesday?
Well, I come Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But
all right, every Wednesday morning. All right, every Wednesday we'll have Danny's picks. Danny, the man with the gambling problem. Because these guys seem to know as long as they don't bet. Well, I'll put 100 down on what you got.
I'll take the Pacers over the Pistons.
Let me see, Pacers.
Where are they playing?
They're playing at Indiana. They lost last night to Orlando. So
any kind of spread?
In the paper, it's 9.
Who lost last night?
Indiana Pacers lost to Orlando last night.
Yeah, but the Pistons beat the Knicks last night.
That's why I figured they're going to be all, they'll have a letdown tonight.
Oh, he's got a psychologist.
Yeah, they'll have a letdown tonight. So they'd have.
So you're saying it's a good bet if I take the Pacers with 9 points?
Get minus 9 points. They're giving 9 points.
Oh, I see. You think they can beat the spread?
Yeah, they should beat them by 10. They're going to be a little bit angry.
Oh, he's going to.
And they're at home. Home teams in the NBA generally win most of their games.
Yeah, but by 9 points.
Yeah, well, that's a chance.
Gary's nodding his head. He likes it.
No, likes the bet. I mean, going with the home team in the NBA is usually generally a good rule, but it's general.
You're going to doubt our expert?
The spread is not 9.
Yeah, but Robin, keep your money on you. I'm giving him 100. Now, if I give you 100, you can place a bet for me?
Yeah.
Oh, you.
You better win for me.
Are you serious?
See, you know what? He's going to have to bet some of his own money,
No. If you're going to bet your own money, I'm not going to let it. I'll go 50-50 with you on it. All right?
That's betting money on him.
If you lose this, you lose 110 because of the VIG.
Oh, the VIG?
What's the VIG?
What's the VIG?
The guy who makes the bet for you.
Yeah, what it is if you win, I'm trying to think of the way they explain this.
Vigorous.
If you bet $50, you lose 10% of whatever you lose. So if you lost a $50 bet, you lose 55. If you lose 100, you lose 110. All
right. Anybody else going in on this?
No.
Why, you don't trust this guy?
I'll bet.
I'm going
on.
You
guys are horrible.
20, 40, 60.
You don't have to pay now.
For a 6-pack?
80.
When he's laying in the gutter.
You wouldn't have to.
No.
You don't have to pay this now anyway. You can pay it next week. That's when you.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you have till. Actually, if you lose tonight.
Oh, then that's no problem.
No, it is.
That's how they get you up there.
There you go.
If you lose the game tonight, you can double tomorrow and try to get your money back.
Okay. Yeah, that's no big deal. And they give you that option?
And until Sunday, your cutoff day is Sunday, so you can't bet until Sunday.
No problem.
And then Monday, you find out how much
once you're up.
All right, go ahead.
I never thought of this before.
Yeah, but you're not going to bet, are you?
No. Billy, don't you do it.
I never thought of this before.
Billy, you're going to replace one addiction with another? Who's betting? Because he'll place the bet for us.
I'm going to go 100. As long as if he bets,
I won't bet it.
bet is off.
Yeah, if you bet, we're not doing it if you bet. I'm hoping this will cure you of your problem. You see us lose our money.
I'll bet you're going to ruin his life.
That's what I bet.
He likes this.
You want to talk to Danny's old roommate? He doesn't blame Dan for anything.
Yeah.
Danny's old roommate lost $25,000. He's now working 6 days a week to pay it off.
Is this Raj? This has got to be Raj.
Hey, Raj.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Howard?
So you used to live with Danny?
Yeah.
And you got caught up in the gambling thing too?
Yeah.
What is it, catching?
Well,
wait a second. Don't bring names into the story. I just want to hear your story.
Tell me the story,
Yeah,
Raj.
just tell the story. So what happened? You were living with Danny, and Danny got into the whole gambling thing.
Right. He got us into the baseball thing. Now, the problem with baseball is you lose. If you bet on the favorite, you lose like 4 times or 5 times what you bet.
Right.
Okay? So, but if the favorite wins, you only win what you bet.
Right.
You know what the problem was? You were betting. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys just get drunk and throw up on girls like regular college guys?
They do that too.
Oh yeah. So you're the guy who went through $17,000 and you had to quit college?
What was that? Yes, sir.
So you were down $17,000. You had to quit college, and you made a deal with the bookie that you'd get a job and pay him $400 a week.
No, I had a job. Danny exaggerated the story. It's nothing like that. But I mean,
it was only $17,000.
It was a payment plan basically, and I busted my ass for a year.
A payment plan.
And wasn't it fun paying for nothing?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't actually. You learn a lot.
So where are you at now? How much have you paid off?
Basically everything except about $800.
Oh.
So you back to gambling?
No, he lost a bunch of money on the Super Bowl or something.
Oh, he bet. You mean? Wait a second. Hold on. Let me get straight. You bet the Super Bowl after that?
What's that? I only put $50 on the Super Bowl.
Oh, all right.
I thought someone told me you lost more than that, though.
Yeah, but that's all he's admitting to.
It's a different
No, seriously. I had a few guys I worked with who put in more.
Can you imagine being this young and already having to pay off $17,000?
Having been that far down in debt.
It makes you learn a lot.
Yeah, you learned a lot. You bet on the Super Bowl.
Hey, you're stupid. You were in college. You should have been learning there.
Hey, I did learn a lot. I framed your poster, and it's going to be worth money.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
He's going to have to sell it to pay off the bet.
He's going to have to give it to his bookie.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
All right, man. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, these kids.
Let's rock.
I got you betting, Billy?
I don't know.
What?
Billy will get hooked.
See, everyone's afraid they're going to get hooked.
Dominic wants to take the bet.
You want in, Dominic?
First of all, the kid's absolutely normal. What's wrong with him? He's invited to the card game.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, God, you could please him.
And I'll take the other side of the bet. You need a bookmaker.
You'll take the bets?
Yeah, I'll
good. Okay, that we don't have to call a bookie.
Be the bookie, huh?
Yeah,
All right, okay. What about the VIG?
I got to get the VIG.
Okay, you get the VIG. All right, okay. Dominic, I'm putting 100 down on the Pacers.
Indiana.
I'm not taking the points.
You're giving me the
You want a straight win.
Right, I'm giving you 9 points. When's the game, tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, super. I got to watch that game. What time is it on?
Oh, no.
Can you check the paper for me?
Too late for you. You gotta
Come on, Robin. Come on. Come on. Do 100. You know you want to.
Nope, I'm not getting into this.
Well, you bet on everything.
Yeah, but I'm not going to bet with him.
He's not betting. He's just telling us what to bet on.
I'm not betting this game.
I
just watch you guys actually.
You're betting against Dominic.
We're betting against Dominic,
That
Robin.
makes it enticing.
It sure does. Fred, take action.
I'm in for 100.
$100.
I will pretend that he's not here, and I'll bet Dominic 100.
All right. Robin is going through some sort of denial and pretending someone isn't in the room. He's going to pretend Danny's not in the room, but that's 100 from Robin.
That game's at 7:30.
Billy?
What?
You in?
I'll bet if Danny bets.
You want to be in it. Do you want to bet at all?
No.
No?
He can't do it.
Yeah, he's going to pay for a hair.
All right.
Ralph
I'm in.
100? $100. Jackie? No. Jackie's out. Okay.
I'm $1,000 up.
You in, John?
Wait a minute.
John's in?
Yeah, I'll take 100.
Okay, John's taking 100.
Howard, am I taking the same bet as you?
Yeah, I think we're all taking the same bet. Yeah, we're all taking the Pacers.
If you guys are smart, you like bet against.
No.
You smell a loser, huh, Dominic?
You're not betting. That's when you win.
That's when you win. What is it, Gorilla?
Ronnie wants 100 too.
Ronnie wants? Put Ronnie down for 100.
All right, that's
We're going to bankrupt Dominic.
How much? That's more than 400. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600.
It's a deal.
And Martling over there counting every penny.
Yeah. Put me in.
All right,
I can't beat a homo.
All right.
Dominic loses, does he dress up naked?
Yeah, that's 100 from Jackie as well. So that's $700 you got to cover.
Dominic in a diaper.
Okay.
Robin.
Oh, I'm in.
Robin's in.
Wear a suit, a tie, jacket.
Is he going to deliver the money to us, Dominic?
Absolutely.
All right.
With
Okay.
bagels?
All right, we're in.
What do we have, Howard?
We have the Pacers.
You got it.
All right, thank you.
Explain the point spread thing.
Point spread is that we have it's a 9-point spread.
You guys are losing 9-0 right
So
now.
we're down 9-0.
9 points.
We
Yeah.
got to win by 9.
We got to win by 10.
We're going to win by 10.
What they should do is...
Unless it's a push.
They should make it
Right, is it a push if it's a
Yeah,
tie?
if it ties,
Okay.
it's a push. You don't lose anything. But
Okay.
what you should do is make it like 8.5 or something, so you can't push. Make it interesting.
No.
Listen to you. Shut up.
Yeah, butt out if you're not betting.
You're bankrupt. You're a college student. You're bankrupt. What is it, Gorilla?
Ralph wants 100 too.
All right. I think Dominic will cover it.
Sure.
All right, that's $800.
Danny's breaking out into hives.
Hey, dude, you better come through because next week I want another pick. You have no idea how many people in the audience are now in on this.
Oh, man.
You know that he's going to go out. Now there's so much riding on this that he's got to bet on this.
You can't bet on this.
You ruin us.
I'm gonna watch
if you do
this.
that.
All right, you watch it. Now you have some reason to watch it without betting it.
I'm gonna go find. I don't know if it's on like national TV, but I'm gonna go find it somewhere.
I'm sure you will.
Just remember that we'll be really pissed if you lose us.
I know.
That's your
Who's gonna? That's your edge. It's a worse feeling in your stomach knowing that Robin's going to yell at you. Hey, as a matter of fact, Danny's going to be down in New Orleans at some sports bar probably looking for the game.
He's got nothing to win and everything to lose.
I know.
He'll be in Indiana.
I feel like putting.
All right. Well, there's Danny, our new intern, our new interesting intern. Loser. Excuse me.
If we win, should we all give him like $5 out of our winnings?
No, that'll encourage him.
I'll give him $50, I said.
Why is John so happy?
He loves it. Yeah, that's going to be good. All right, very good. Danny, the intern, Danny, the gambling intern, will be back next week with his picks. Thank you. And don't gamble anymore.
Right.
Stupid as a wall.
His poor family.
Yeah. Family's sitting there going, oh, Christ, $5,300. Father's probably a postal worker.
This was just the equivalent of taking a bottle of booze and waving it under.
No. He's got his edge now, and he doesn't have to bet money.
Oh, you're saving him.
Yeah. Maybe the kid knows something.
I'd say he's on the phone now.
Oh, man.
All right, we'll be back right after these words with the news. All right. Okay. So, Robin, this brings us to news. Well, we've made our bets for the day. All of us got sucked in.
We're all now going to be gamblers, I suppose.
For sure. At least every Wednesday. With Danny the Vig. That's what I called him back there.
Danny the Vig? Who ever heard of the Vig?
Oh, the Vigorish. I've heard of that.
What the hell is that?
You got to pay the Vigorish. Vigorish is...
Vigorish?
When you bet, the Vigorish is like... the broker, the guy who puts up the money, the bookie gets a little...
But what does the term vigorish mean?
I don't know. I've heard my father use it my whole life.
Come from?
The Vig. He always talks about you got to pay the Vig.
Wets his beak.
Yeah, the Vigorish. I don't know why they call it Vigorish. My father could probably tell us.
It's a weird word, Alan.
Vigorish? I know. Sounds sort of Jewish or something.
But
Vigorish.
it's always like, when people do something, they got to have their own special language to go along with it.
Yeah. To make them, it's just gambling, but it makes them important.
Just to make it more confusing.
You want Danny to describe what Vigorish is? Now that that's his new name?
He don't know. He doesn't know. Billy asked him out there. He don't care. He just wants to lose money.
He just wanted to lose
Yeah,
money
right.
as fast as he could. Don't slow him down.
If I call my dad, he could tell you. My father knows how to explain all that crap. Yeah. Except sometimes he's actually explained Vigorish to me, and if I don't understand, I'm afraid to say to him, Dad, I don't understand, because he starts yelling at me and tell me I'm stupid.
Oh, no.
Because that's what my father does. If he explains something once and you don't get it, he'll tell you you're a moron.
Oh, he does?
Of course.
Oh, you really have to.
I told you the Vigorish. I explained it already. I'm not going to explain it again, you dope.
I told you what it is once. I shouldn't have to tell you again.
So I don't even ask. Listen, I'll call him, but you got to ask.
All right.
Because I don't want to be called a moron.
Well, as long as he calls you the moron.
Yeah, you know what? You won't understand, and he'll call me a moron. He thinks you're smart.
All right.
He thinks everyone's smart but me.
But you.
Yeah.
Somehow you aren't smart.
That's my whole thing. Like, he'll say to me, boy, Robin's very intelligent. I'll go,
well, why do you think I hang out with you, you dummy?
He never sees me as smart.
Very smart.
You are very smart, Robin.
To associate with Robin.
Yeah, you are very smart to associate with Robin. I'm so stupid. figure out how to work this phone.
You never know his number. That's true.
Do you want to know for real? Mm-hmm. All right, but don't. If you don't understand, don't bring me into it. I'm serious.
Act like you know.
Yeah.
I have a way of asking a question that makes him feel stupid for not being able to explain it.
He might not even be home.
Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
I mean, we're on the air.
Oh, hi. How's everything?
Okay, you busy?
No.
Where's Dad?
Dad's around.
Let me rap to him for a second.
All right, hold
Thanks.
on.
Oh,
she
boy.
would know what the vigorous was.
I'm starting to get shaky right now.
Hello?
Dad.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the show?
Yeah.
Okay, Robin has a question for you.
Yes.
I understand it because you've explained it to me, but Robin has a question for you.
What is the VIG?
The spread.
I know that, but where'd that term come from?
Well, what they say is this.
No, wait. Back up, Robin, and ask him, what does he mean by the spread?
All right, what is the spread?
The bookies, when they take bets on a game or any sport event. If you take the team, you have to give them a spread, and if they give it to you, they accept the spread. Meaning that there's a middle point. If you could take a bet and exactly spread it 50-50, take 50 to win and 50 to lose, you make money.
Wait a minute, you're confused.
Dad, don't worry, I understand, but Robin does it. She's very stupid. You can yell at her, too. Go ahead, ask her the question.
Wait a minute. How do you say to me...
See what I mean?
That you take 50, I'll take 50, and we make money?
No. You're booking people. You have customers.
Oh, here's Danny.
Danny the Vig is in. Did you get this? Hey, Dad, did you hear my new intern?
Yes. He's dangerous.
He is. What is it, Danny? My father is now explaining.
What it is the bookie will never lose. So
that's what I'm saying.
So regardless, if people bet on the same game, the person who loses is going to lose the $5. So the bookie will always get the $5. So no matter how many people bet on the same game, it will go back and forth.
No, you have to explain it. That it's a question of the amount of bets there are. If he could get an exact 50% of his customers taking one team and 50% of his customers taking the other team, he has a perfect vigorish. Means that he's got the maximum amount of win. Now, let's assume a lot of his...
Yeah, in other words, it won't cost him... You see, understand? It won't cost the bookie anything.
He won't have to pay anything out of his
pocket.
Right.
He'll pay one half, he'll pay the other half.
The bookie doesn't bet. He's just placing the bet.
Right, so...
You know what the bookie's doing? He's really placing... Let's say you want...
So the bookie's protecting himself with the VIG. The VIG, let me explain it to you. I'll explain it to you.
I think I got it.
Yeah, but it's good. My dad thinks I'm smart if I can explain it.
You do it.
The VIG means that the bookie... So let's say 75% of the people all take the Pacers.
Right.
25% of the people take the other team.
Right. Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's got to pay off... Let's say the Pacers win. He's got to pay off all that money.
Right.
At least if he has the VIG from all the other bets, he'll get that back and he can pay off his bets with that.
You know also what they also do to protect themselves, they lay off also. They go to the big book, say in Vegas. In other words, if their books are so unbalanced that they're going to take a big hit.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
They don't want to gamble. In other words, they're not interested in one team winning against the other.
They know that gambling doesn't pay.
Right. They want to run a business.
What they're doing.
They counter bet?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll bet against themselves.
That's right. The best scenario is he's putting two people together. Say you want a team.
Right, I got you.
And Howard wants a team. He'll put you together and he gets 5% because it doesn't matter who wins.
It doesn't mean anything out of his pocket.
That's right.
And then he gets the VIG.
So you lay the odds and you take the odds.
Right.
And what happens if a lot of people are all betting on the same game and they're all betting on the same team?
Right.
What will happen is the point spread will change.
It'll change.
And it'll go up, say, the Pacers, everybody takes the Pacers tonight.
Right.
All of a sudden the spread ends up being like 11, and he'll try to force everybody to bet the other team.
Right. He'll make it more attractive.
Right.
But if he can't make it more attractive, what he usually does, he doesn't want to go out of business. They have a central in Vegas. They will try to lay off on the big book. They'll take some of the action for them so they can help them out.
Now, where did the name Vigorish come from?
Well, I think the terminology is it's like well, I don't know exactly how the hell it came about.
That sounds to me like a Yiddish word.
Well, I don't know. It's a good word.
All right, so you don't know the answer.
Well, I don't know how it came about. But
I thought you knew the answer.
Yeah, I'll go look up the answer.
How come you don't know the answer?
I got my encyclopedia here.
Well, anyway, New Yorkers can't say I don't know. It's not just my father.
I know. I was listening to that laugh.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't know the answer to
He was going to come up with an answer for you.
There is no way you can stop and ask somebody directions in New York.
Right.
Nobody will say I don't know.
I know.
Right, and they'll tell you a lie in a minute.
Even my old man, he doesn't want to tell you he doesn't know what vigorous is, but...
Well, the reason I don't know, it never occurred to me that I had to find out where it came from.
All right, take it easy.
We just thought you might know.
Oh, well, why don't you research?
If you're
Well, now
using
I got time, you know.
All right, now you got time on your hands. You got something to do.
Instead of staring at the wall, I'll go find out what vigorous is.
All right, go ahead, Dad. Thank you.
Right.
You want to bet Danny now?
See, my father's nice to you on the phone. If I had said I didn't understand that first explanation, that would have been it. My head would have been through a window.
Well, Jesus, I don't know how anybody could have understood that.
See, but you see, that first explanation, my father would rip my skull out if I didn't understand that first explanation.
Well, you know, he was ripping your skull out because he was a bad explainer.
Right. I always thought he was a good explainer. I was just stupid.
What's wrong with you?
We're all sitting here scratching our head with that first explanation.
My father gets real angry if you don't understand what he's talking about.
Right
he's like
away.
Frankenstein.
He's
like,
He doesn't have a lot of patience.
When he first was explaining that, I thought he was kidding.
No.
I thought he was like
yeah, but you see,
pulling our legs.
but when I was a little kid, if he'd explain something to you, like if I had trouble with homework or something, and I said, "Hey, Dad, you think you can help me?" He would start yelling after the first explanation. That's why I never got any help in homework. He'd go berserk. Where's my tape of my dad yelling at me? So San Diego knows I'm not lying.
You have this.
You got it? I do?
Shut up, sit down.
So
You're
betting.
so nervous from asking that question. You can't even
My
focus.
hands are shaking. You're lucky he didn't yell at you. I thought he was starting to get crazy. He didn't like you asking him.
Shut up! Sit down! I told you not to be stupid, you moron.
Where's the other one? Oh, he's getting him. What is it?
Well, a lot of Russian people calling says that word is, in Russian, it means winnings for profit.
Oh, vigorous. Well, whatever. There you go. Thanks, girl.
You just wonder who the first bookie was who came up with that.
Right.
Was he Russian?
Yeah. I still think it was a money-lending Jewish guy.
Hello, Howard. I'd like to ask you a question.
What's vigorous?
How do you feel about religious services and why children should attend them? Don't shout it.
Well, you see, let's say, if you want to be religious, I think you should go
Where's
to
the United Nations one?
I think it comes after that.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
And also,
No.
let's say you want to go up and read.
Let's remind people I'm like 5 or something. 6.
You wouldn't know what to say, so you learn
7, I think.
something there.
Right.
You learn the Jewish history, and that's all.
Ellen, how do you feel about the new Roosevelt football team? Do you feel that it is a benefit, educational-wise, or does it give the children...
This is Family Day.
Because I can hear you breathing a sigh of relief.
I'm like,
You got through it.
I sound like David Hasselhoff after he diffuses a bomb. This is Family Day. This is the SATs at my father's recording studio.
This is on the hot seat.
Yeah, this is the family. This is the day to relax and enjoy each other.
that attend these games, a feeling of belonging? I'd like to have your opinion.
Well, I think that the Roosevelt football...
Now listen, she gets nervous and her grammar's all screwy, but he never yells at her.
No.
She's okay.
But
They
I
always
also
said,
thought about something. You know, I was talking to somebody about these tapes the other day, and I said, you see what is happening here? There will be positive acknowledgement after Ellen answers this question.
Oh, yeah.
There's no positive acknowledgement for you doing the right thing.
Yeah. Because you saw I did the religious service thing.
But he just goes
No.
right back and just say, good job,
All
thank
right.
you very much, nothing.
Ellen.
And watch at the end of her answer, he'll say very
good. Oh, yeah. Oh, Daddy's little girl. Because you know what his rap on her is? She always tried very hard. You didn't.
Yeah.
Now watch.
But just
Just watch.
And it's just wonderful, and I think when people go, they really get thrills out of it, seeing their own game being played.
That's a crummy answer.
They won 4 games, as I recall, and I think
And she's 4 years older than me.
people are just are just thrilled with the whole idea.
Thank you very much. One other question.
Thank you very much.
Do you feel that the United States should remain in the United Nations, as a member of the United Nations? Howard?
Yes, I really do.
Is there any special reason why you...
Yeah, just leave me alone, you old coot.
Yes, I do.
Get away from me. Now what? But he's going to follow it up until I screw up.
I'm not letting you off the hook until I can beat you with this.
Feel that they should.
Well, there should be peace in all the countries, and we wouldn't want any war. Because we don't want the Japs anymore.
I told you not to be stupid, you moron. Ellen? I would like to ask the same question of you. Do you feel that the United States should remain in the UN?
Yes.
It's funnier and... now on the phone he's gracious.
Oh, big. Well, hey.
Big,
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that
My father's the world's angriest guy. You think I'm angry? My father has such anger. My father has more anger. If he went to a shrink, the shrink would be blown out of the room from the anger. He would fall out a window.
Because I think it's very important, and it has been doing a lot of good for the country.
And the world.
Yes.
Let me ask you another question. Now, Howard, I don't want any foolish answers from you, otherwise don't answer.
Great.
President Kennedy now is going around the country.
While my sister was answering, I'm cowering in a corner. He just told me not to be a moron.
It's almost like Japanese torture when you're going there. Oh, man, I hope you spend a lot of time with her.
Here's another fun question from Dad.
Yeah. It's like you want him to spend a lot of time with her so it doesn't come back to you.
Yeah, here's Dad.
Asking the people to vote for Democrats. He wants more...
Why didn't he just kill us all?
Line you up.
Line us up and shoot us.
Democrats in the House of Representatives and the United States Senate. Do you think that the president is doing a wise thing in going around the country asking the voters to support him by electing Democrats? First, we will hear from Howard.
I'm 6 years old.
Yeah. Do you know?
I have no idea. I know if I answer wrong, I'm going to get the crap beat out of me.
Quiz show.
The
Greenhouse.
And isn't that a fun guy?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you about the Democrats and the Republicans.
The president has been going around the country.
Who am I, Howard Van Doren? What is this, quiz show?
Next category, the greenhouse effect.
Yes, I do, because if we didn't, let's say, have Democrats, there'd be presidents, vice presidents, and where would the Democrats come in?
Alan Stern.
Stupid ass. If you could have seen the look I got.
That's not even an answer.
You dummy.
Thoughtful
You
was like...
dumb. Yeah, right, you dumb moron. You dope.
That is no answer at all.
What is it?
Your father just called me.
Uh-oh.
And he just said he doesn't want to come on the air. He just wants to tell you the word vigorous means sweetener.
Oh, sweetener?
Yeah.
How did he learn that?
I don't know. He just called me to say that.
Really?
He looked it up.
Why didn't he come on the air?
I don't know. I don't want to
Call
ask.
him back.
You don't. He'll yell at you.
I do agree. Well, first of all, I myself is a Democrat.
I myself is a Democrat. We grew up in a black neighborhood. I'm sorry.
We're cracking under the
She's cracking because she knows, but she never got yelled at. Listen to that answer. I is a Democrat. Yeah, why didn't he say call her a moron?
I'm a Democrat.
Yeah, but there's my mother's contribution. The whole time he's calling me a moron.
I'm a Democrat.
Didn't say, Ben, leave those kids alone.
No. Why are you... Yeah. Where's the tape of my mother going... My father yells at me for saying something stupid.
What's wrong with you?
And my mother starts getting in on it.
Yeah. She says, what's wrong with you?
Not to my father, to me.
Yeah, it was like stereo torture.
Yeah.
What's
wrong with him?
What's wrong with him? And,
She's all shook up, my sister.
I think they are very good. I like their...
She just witnessed child abuse.
What you missed here, the point that I was trying to make is the reason that the President of the United States is asking for more Democrats is that so that they will support his program in Congress by voting for the issues that he's interested in. That is the reason.
Yeah.
Now I'll play this back.
Oh, great. Now, and then we can relive it. Now I'll play this back.
You were both wrong.
Yeah. And then my dad would go record, like, deputy dog cartoons. He must have been a real joy to work with during those sessions.
I bet you didn't pipe up in those.
Yeah, right. There were guys getting millions of dollars for acting like morons. Couldn't see the connection.
He wouldn't ask adults United Nations questions on that recording.
He wouldn't ask anybody those questions. He knows better. He's going to train me.
You're going to school 5 days a week, but that's not enough.
I don't want any foolish answers.
Sunday's going to be real fun. We get to go on tape, and I'll yell at you.
Otherwise, don't answer.
Or your foolishness.
I don't want any foolish answers out of you. Otherwise, don't answer.
Okay. All right, I'll try it again.
Now, Howard.
What do I win?
Now, first, we will hear from Howard.
Might be during Jelly Beaner.
During Jelly Beaner? Yeah, my father yells at me while I'm singing Jelly Beaner.
Did he yell then?
I don't know. Something
Because I
happened.
thought in Jelly Beaner, your mother was just trying to sing it with you, and you didn't want her to sing it.
I don't know. I don't know. There is one tape.
Because I think it was during the Shut Up, Sit Down that your mother goes, what's wrong with you?
I want to sing Jelly Bean.
All right, sing Jelly Bean.
Come on.
My mother was so annoying. We'd go down to the city, and then I didn't want to sing anything. And I didn't want her singing with me.
Uh-huh.
I want to sing Jelly Bean or myself, and I didn't know the words. And she starts saying Jelly Bean, and I'm like, shut up. Shut up. So annoying. World's most annoying woman.
Sing the song. I'll sing it.
Jelly Bean. No, you're not singing.
She loves to torture me.
No, you're not.
Yeah, she loves to torture kids. She tortures them.
Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean.
Now I can barely get through the damn song.
You're miserable.
I know, I'm miserable. I wanted to wipe out my whole family.
No, when you see a jelly bean.
Here she
When
goes.
you see jelly bean.
What a party.
Jelly bean.
More.
Jelly bean. When you see a jelly bean. When you see
I'm melting the same way.
jelly bean, a cool jelly bean. Jelly bean.
I haven't changed.
Jelly bean, jelly bean, one to know.
Very good.
Yeah, I need that. Very good.
Here's your fish.
That was
Could have
great.
done it better, though.
Where's the one where my father's like yelling at me?
I think was Ellen playing something?
Yeah. Where are all those tapes? You got them? Why do you keep leaving the room and coming back in?
Shaking your head.
What's wrong with you? Well, what are we doing? We got to do news.
Yes, what
this
are we
is crazy.
doing? This is crazy. You're right.
Therapy.
If this was OJ's, you got the tape real quick?
I don't have that one.
You don't have it. There he goes.
He's out of the room again.
If this was OJ's childhood, they'd let him out right now.
Understand everything.
Yeah. And I know we have all these tapes because I played them on the air.
Because I remember that when I think Ellen was playing the piano.
Yeah. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it.
Old man river.
That's my father singing.
That old man river.
That's my dad having a party.
That's when he cuddled.
And everyone would sit there, and my mother, don't make fun of him.
I would have said, let's go back to the question.
Or maybe this is the one. This might be it.
Okay.
Ready, Ellen? Go ahead. We're going to play that same song. Shut up! Sit down! Go ahead.
That's the one. I found it, Freddie. Yeah, I got it.
That's the one.
You got more? What's wrong with you? He's I'm being a kid.
Yeah.
She couldn't say to Ben, what's wrong with you? She's saying to me. I'm a little kid.
That's right. What's wrong with him?
He's ganging up.
She's an enabler. I can't take it.
How do you get the straight face during that?
Oh, man. Yeah, and I'm supposed to keep quiet during that. I'm in pain. Yeah, what's wrong with him? Why don't you get serious?
Can he hear?
And of course, my sister took piano lessons and could play stuff that my father could sing. I took 5 years of lessons. My teacher committed suicide. So it was like Goofus and Gallant. Yeah.
There's a golden sun. The stars will be shining.
Not one right word.
In my movie, Martin Landau is going to play my father.
Oh. Your father hasn't said one right word yet in the song.
No, he's another one. What song is he singing?
Jelly Beaner.
On through the wind, on through the rain, and you'll never walk
I don't know what she's playing.
Yeah, you don't hear what she's playing. It's her fault. It's always
It's her fault. I know what she's playing.
I think that's the worst one of all.
I'm sure I got a good yelling at after that one.
I can't believe he never bought a black outfit and snuck in here at night to get those tapes.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
He should be commended that he let you live. He was so irritated.
No, he's so irritated.
Do you feel that
forget it.
should remain in the United Nations as a member of the United Nations? Howard?
Yes, I really do.
Is there any special reason why you feel that they should?
Well, there should be peace in all the countries, and we wouldn't want any war. Because we don't want the Japs anymore.
I told you not to be stupid, you moron.
Another happy family.
Jackie needs a drink.
And funnier every time.
I know.
Funnier every
I'm
time.
crying.
I know. It's the single greatest piece of tape in the world.
That song. Nice.
Whenever I catch myself doing that with my kids, I leave the room. Because I'm sort of,
Well, I hear you doing it sometimes around here.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, I can't help that. But the kids, I always back off.
But that song is child abuse.
Yeah.
It's everybody abuse.
What song are you playing?
I don't know what you play.
My father hates when we play those tapes, too. He must be going nuts.
Blame Ellen. He's not on tune.
He changes octaves 3 times.
Hey, he's the man of the house.
Whoa.
When you walk. He's looking for it.
Hello.
Hi. We're listening to the family tapes.
I heard.
No.
Taken out of context, Howard. It's completely different than the
You're
way
like
it
Newt
happened.
Gingrich.
What?
I said you're like Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, we're not playing the whole interview.
Yeah, we're not playing the full interview. How did Dad learn what vigorish was?
That's right. I mean, your father was so good to you, and now you destroy him like this. I can't believe it. Got you anything you wanted, did anything you dreamt up for you, and now you're taking advantage of him.
Now sing Jelly Bean.
He should have put that on.
My mother hates Billy.
Yeah.
She started complaining to me about Billy at the house.
Really?
That Billy is rude and disrespectful because he does an impression of her. I said, Ma, it's funny.
Either he talks or I talk. I can't talk over him.
Either he talks or I talk. I can't talk over him.
She hates Billy.
I don't hate Billy.
I like you.
I just don't like what he does.
I just don't like what he does. Why does
So
he
I
have
let
to
him
do
know
that?
My mother hates
Rude
Billy.
and disrespectful.
Have you got anything to say to me, Howard?
Oh. Are you going to cop an attitude?
Absolutely. I'm a prima donna.
Ask Dad how he got the word vigorish.
Ask Dad how he got the word vigorous.
Yeah.
How he found out what it meant.
Just a moment.
Ben?
Man?
Ben? How did you get the word licorice?
How'd you get the word vigorous?
Ben, sing for me.
How'd you get the word vigorous?
Ben? How did you get the word vigorous?
How did you get the word vigorous? I looked it up in the dictionary.
You looked it up in the dictionary?
Yes, I looked it up.
What's doing?
I hate circles.
How did you get the word vigorous? How did you find out the meaning?
Oh, I was thinking about it, and I recalled in my mind what the hell's going on here.
Anybody?
I recalled that was like a sweetener, meaning that it's the difference
between.
Yes.
Now, who pays the vigorous? The guy who loses?
No, hey, let me explain.
The guy who places the bet.
Let's say you want a team, and they say to you the odds are 6-5.
Right.
Now, if you want to take the team that's 60, you have to give the bookie 60 for the 50. In other words, you're rating him 60.
Yeah.
Right.
Then he goes to another guy who wants it the other way.
Right.
Right. So the bet is reversed.
Mm-hmm.
So now suddenly there's a $10 difference, right?
Right.
Now, if he puts you together with this other guy, he makes $10 if he keeps his balance.
See, my father's real smart.
Wait a minute. He makes $10.
Yeah.
Because he's taking the bet both ways.
Or the other way, he would just use the 10 toward paying off the other guy.
Right.
Right.
So, in other words...
Robin, don't keep going with this.
Do you follow what I said?
My father's going to yell at you.
No.
No. But what if you got a 50-50 bet?
But it's never even.
It's never even.
It's never even. It's
even if it was, so the guy makes a few bucks.
Right. In some bets, it's 8-5.
Mm-hmm.
So if you play him 8-5, he takes 7-5 maybe from somebody else. In other words, he's
working it so he doesn't lose any money.
Right. I see what you're saying.
He's got to pay.
It's according to which team you take. He balances.
It's his fee also for putting you together.
Paying a fee, really.
So
it's him matching up bets.
Right.
Yeah.
And vigorous is, I think the term means sweetener. So it's
See, my father's real smart. He knows a lot of stuff.
and it's the sweet of the two.
Ask my dad about them giving me a plaque at that bathroom rest stop. He'll go off like a maniac. He hates he doesn't like what's going on at all.
Well,
right?
Well, I'm not too thrilled with the whole idea of them carrying on that way. I think there's more important things in this world than worrying about bathroom stops.
That's right. It's, why we have Democrats.
But you see, there's a lot of people with a lot of free time.
Right.
Who have no agendas in life.
You never had that problem.
No, he doesn't. He's busy.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. How do you like this? Hey, Dad. I'll get him going. How do you like this National Organization for Women? I guess they solved every problem. Now they're worried about bathrooms.
Right now, no more women are not being abused. Children are being taken care of. Men who don't pay child support are all paying it. I mean, they can't bother with that because that's a real issue.
Right.
Can't do anything about
it. Into something, and there's no publicity involved. You see, anytime there's publicity, you get people to get online and they jump on the bandwagon.
Right.
Because they live a very shallow life. It's void. There's nothing happening there.
Okay.
That's it.
And then, that explains, though, why he was having that discussion with you. He never wanted you to be bothered with triviality. You wanted your mind on weighty subjects.
Yes, he does. He feels there's a lot of nonsense in the world, and if even starting at a young age of 5, I should be discussing Republicans and Democrats. He always said it. He said, don't waste time on nonsense.
Right.
Well, he knew about it.
So you want to act childish at 5, or you want to act like an adult?
That's right.
Listen, when he answered that question about the UN, he was doing great up until the end.
Right.
And I was very...
It was nonsense.
Happy. Right, your answer made a lot of sense.
Until the nonsense part.
Then he went off the deep end.
Dad, let me ask you, is the United Nations a good thing?
Of course.
There you go. Why? Give a better answer.
What do you mean? Do you want a real answer?
Yeah, why is the United Nations...
It's a place where, when problems arise, you have a meeting ground, a neutral place where you could discuss things. When you're talking, many times you avoid fighting.
What about the Japs? All right. Thank you, Dad. My father. I do love my father and my mother. They're intense.